Good morning, students. I think you might have completed the exercises up to 4. So, we will see the illustration 5. All the items that is given under this illustration are as same as the items that are in the illustrations from 1 to 4. So, you refer this solution also, and in the same method you can do that fifth exercise. Okay. Now, we will go to the next heading, next title, income and expenditure account. Okay, in income and expenditure account, we have to take only the revenue items, because all the revenue, that expenditure and income should be differentiated between capital or revenue. So if it is revenue, only that items will be entered in the income and expenditure account. So you know very well, for the receipts and payments account, we have entered all the items irrespective of its nature, whether it is of capital nature or revenue nature. But here in this income and expenditure account, we have to enter only the revenue items. Then where these capital items will be appearing? They will be appearing only in the balance sheet. So we should know, because the business, if it is a business concern, we may know some of the expenditure, what are revenue and what are capital. Now some peculiar items are there that will be coming only for the not for profit organizations. So I will explain them one by one. You listen carefully. Number 1, subscription. I have told you already what is the meaning of subscription. That any not-for-profit organization, for example, I have told the simple example for a magazine, getting magazine, or to become a member of any not-for-profit organization or the sports organization, we will send periodically some amount as subscription to become the members. To get the membership, we have to pay some amount, either monthly, weekly, or half yearly, quarterly, or annually. We have to pay one amount. That amount is called as subscription. So they are getting some amount periodically from the members. Received from the members of a not-for-profit organization. That amount is called subscription. So it periodically means maybe monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, or annually. So this amount is collected, that means every month or every quarterly. So it is a continuous income. You know what is the meaning of revenue items? That we collect often or frequently or every year. Not one time, many times we receive. That is the key word. If we receive that money often, many times, then that item we can consider it as revenue item. So this also, we receive this amount periodically from the members. So it is called revenue receipt. The subscription is a revenue receipt. Revenue receipt. Then that subscription we can receive for any special plays, for the special play. Okay, especially for if any subscription is received for tennis or billiards, that also will be conducted often. So that will be considered as revenue receipt. Then the second one is interest on investment. Interest on investment. all the interest that we receive from the investments that we made. Investment may be in a large sum, but we receive this interest maybe monthly, periodically, okay, or yearly. So every year we receive that interest. So this is also a revenue receipt. Okay, interest on investment is a revenue receipt. Then the third one, sale of old sports materials. Old sports materials. Because this income will arise only in the sports organizations promoting sports and games. So for them, they might have purchased many sports materials like balls, bats, net. Okay, all these will be purchased, and often because every day they use these items, and it will be purchased often and it will be sold often, the old one. So they will get very less amount from those sports materials, and this is also a revenue receipt. Revenue receipt. Okay, it will be received, it will be sold often, all the sports materials which are used in the sports organization. Then the fourth one, sale of old newspaper. Sale of old newspaper. Newspaper, we know they buy every day, or magazines, whatever it is, often they purchase, and that old newspapers will be kept aside, and after 1 month, 2 months they will sell them. So that also will come under revenue receipt. Then life membership fees. This is related to subscription. Here life membership fee, it is received once in the lifetime of the members. So they will pay once. So it is the capital receipt. Why it is a capital receipt? That subscription we receive every month periodically. But here that life membership is we will receive once in the lifetime of the members. So here we cannot say entirely this is capital receipt. Practically if we see, here they have given us capital receipt, but that practically in some problems they may include this life membership fees as the revenue receipt. Why? What's the reason? Because many members will be coming. They may pay the life membership fees together, isn't it? But that for that organization, many members will be paying their life membership fees. This year they may receive. Next year also some other members will pay. So we cannot conclude this finally it is a capital receipt. Some organization we can consider this as revenue receipt because many members will be there. Some members, every year some members may pay their life membership fees. So that is recurring in nature. But here in our book they have given us capital receipt. Then what is legacy now? Let's 6th one, legacy. Legacy I have explained already. Legacy is a gift that is given by some persons to the not-for-profit organization by a will. Will. In Tamil we say will. The same word only. Understand? If a person does not have any descendant, maybe the sons or daughters, if he has a lot of property, he may write all those property of him can be given to his that any not-for-profit organization as legacy, writing a will. With his full will and wish, it will be given to that not-for-profit organization. It is that entirely a capital receipt, because it is very rare to get a legacy. Understand? It is a capital receipt. Then next one, admission fee or entrance fees. Admission fees or entrance fees. If they conduct a sport event, they will collect entrance fee. Then school, we can say admission fee. It is a revenue receipt. Why? We pay every year. That means the students, that organization receive this admission fee or entrance fee whenever they conduct the sports event, or every year for the admission of the students they receive this admission fee. So it is a revenue receipt. But they may consider this one as capital receipt also, because once that admission fee, we can say when they admit in 11th and 12th they will receive, then afterwards they may not receive that admission fee, they can consider it as capital receipt. But in this problem, in this chapter, we are taking this as revenue receipt. Then grants from government. Grants from government and any other organization. When maybe the foreign organization, they can get some grant. That I have told you, grant in aid, it is called aid, help from the government to run the institution. This grant may be for two purposes. If it is for the construction of building, or for the acquisition of an asset, for purchasing an asset, then we can call this as capital receipt. Okay. If it is for the maintenance of asset, or for the payment of salaries, this aided school, aided college we say, isn't it? Because the salary will be got from the government, so they will send the aid for the payment of salary. That is why it is called aided college, aided school. So this one is for the running of the organization. They are getting the aid from the government every year or every month, they are getting that aid. So this is considered as the revenue receipt. Understood? That you should be very careful. If that grant from government is got for the construction of building or for the acquisition of asset, that will be treated as the capital receipt. But if that grants are given for the maintenance of asset or for the payment of salary or for any other purpose, that is done every month or often recurring in nature, then it will be considered as the revenue receipt. The next one, donations. This one we know very well without any explanation. We pay for any church or school, we pay donation, isn't it? This amount, if this donation may be for general donation or for specific purpose donation. So general donation and specific donation, it is divided into two. Okay, that donation we get from the members, or for anybody even not from members, we can receive some donation. If it is a general donation, that means often every time we get, that is considered as revenue receipt. But if it is a specific donation, we do not receive that donation often, so that will be considered as capital receipt. Understood? That is the capital receipt. For any specific purpose, for any donation for the school day, That school day also every year we receive, isn't it? For any special event or sports that they collect only for that purpose alone. So that will be a capital receipt. Now we will see some of the expenditure. Honorarium. Honorarium. What is the meaning honorarium? It is also a type of salary or remuneration given to a person. He is not an employee, ordinary employee, for any work, but that person is not a regular employee, but we pay the salary or wages. That is called honorarium. So this one, don't think that very rare, once in lifetime only we will receive. No, that machines may get repaired, or for some other purpose we may call some people often. So it is entirely a revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure. Maybe the quantity will be less, and very often we call this mechanic or any other, that is skilled people, skilled foremen. Okay, these people will be called to run the that institution. Whatever, any that computer will be there to, if there is any problem, they will call the one who will software people or hardware people to check those computers. So all these that amount will be paid often. So they are the salary given to them are revenue expenditures. Now 11th one. Purchase of sports materials. Sports organization will purchase some sports materials, bats, balls, nets, okay, all these items, sports materials. They all that expenditure that they, because I will explain this one. Sports materials, we never purchase them and we never throw them outside after 1 year. So to calculate how much we have spent in that particular year, they will do one calculation. That means opening stock, add purchases less closing stock. We will get how much they have consumed. That means how much they have spent. This only will be considered as revenue expenditure. So this will be written under in the income and expenditure account. Okay. So already in the beginning of the year we will have some sports materials. We might have purchased some during the year. Then again some materials will be in the as the closing stock that we can use for the next year. So we may not write whatever we have purchased. We have to consider the opening stock and closing stock. So we add along with the opening stock the purchases, and we have to reduce the closing stock. So we will get how much we have consumed, how much we have spent on that particular year. So this will be entered in the income and expenditure account. Then this closing stock will be entered in the balance sheet. That is the asset. Okay. So that way we have to treat. This one will be they will be asking for 2 marks. This treatment is given separately. There we will learn. So now you should understand. Okay. Purchase of sports materials. Then another one, purchase of sports equipments. Sports materials, I told you, bats, balls, nets. But purchase of sports equipments. purchase of sports equipments, we can say if the for sports organizations, for the billiards table, like furniture, isn't it? Then table tennis, when they play table tennis, that also they have to purchase table. So these are considered as the capital expenditure because it is like furniture, isn't it? So this will come under capital expenditure. It will be shown only in the balance sheet, asset side. Okay, don't confuse with the sports equipments with the sports materials. You should be very careful. Materials, you should think that bats, balls, nets we will use daily often, then it will get spoiled very soon. But sports equipments are billiards table, table tennis table, any other equipments that they use for many years, that will come under capital expenditure, but sports materials will come under revenue expenditure. Now the last one, 13th one, purchase of books for library. A library, that is a not-profit organization, purchase of books in a library. They are dealing with books only in the library, isn't it? So they purchase this library. Whether they use and throw that books, no, they keep that books for many years. So this will be coming under capital expenditure. Simple, okay. Purchase of books, that is capital expenditure. We never throw them outside. I think you might have understood. If you don't understand, once again you rewind this video and you can watch over it. Okay. Now I will show in the book some of the revenue items and capital items they have listed out and they are given in a table. So there you can mark. The 2 question answers are available. Name some around 5 of the capital receipts and capital revenue receipts. Okay. See this revenue receipt: subscription, interest on investment, interest on fixed deposit. That's okay. Fixed deposit like an investment. Sale of old sports materials, sale of old newspapers. Then any other collection or receipts relating to tournament, sports, match, entertainment, dinner, all these collection are revenue receipts. Then capital receipts like membership fees, legacies, specific donation, sale of fixed asset, then special funds, then any tournament fund, prize fund. Then here some either they may be revenue or capital. That also will come here. Admission fee or entrance fees. Then donations. Here donation they have given us if that general donation only will be coming under revenue receipt, that is not given here, but this may be that is why they have given here. They may be general donation will be coming under the revenue receipt, specific donation will be coming under capital receipt. That's why if they either it may be revenue or capital. Then special fees, grant from government and other organizations. Okay, so you have to mark this point and learn. Then about the capital expenditure. Capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. What are the capital expenditure? Purchase of sports equipment, purchase of books for library. Then all the other revenue expenditure. Honorarium, charity, audit fee, purchase of sports materials, printing and stationery, postage and courier charges. Then expenses relating to tournament, sports, matches, entertainments, dinner. For all the expenses that we spend under this heading also will come under revenue expenditure. Now I will explain what is income and expenditure account. Income and expenditure account. So I will tell you what is the meaning of income and expenditure account. It is a summary of Income and expenditure is a summary of income and expenditure. Income and expenditure of not-for-profit organization prepared at the end of the financial year. We know what it is, isn't it? Income and expenditure means it is a summary of income and expenditure of a which one not-for-profit organization prepared at the end of the financial year, or we can say accounting year. Not accounting year may be different, isn't it? Accounting year. What is the purpose of preparing this account, income and expenditure? From this income and expenditure, we can find out the surplus or deficit. We can just relate this one to the profit and loss account. There, we can calculate the profit or loss. Here we should not say profit or loss. Instead, we should say the surplus or deficit, because this not-for-profit organization is not run to earn profit. Okay. Now, in the receipts and payments account, we studied that it is a real account, but here this income and expenditure account is a nominal account. Income and expenditure account is a nominal account, because what we debit? Nominal account, we debit all expenses and loss. Okay, all expenses. Credit all income and gains. So that is why, because we enter all expenditure and income, so it will come under the heading nominal account. The nature is nominal account. So which method we follow in this one? Basis of accounting. Which basis of accounting is followed? Cash basis. In the receipts and payments account, we follow the cash basis. Here we follow accrual basis. Do you remember accrual basis, cash basis? In 11th standard we studied. Cash basis, what is the meaning? Only the cash receipts and payments. That is on the that receipts and payments account we prepare on the basis of cash basis. Here we follow the accrual system of accounting. What is accrual? That means if that income accrued but not received, that we should add along with the income, and outstanding expenses, that is the outstanding expenses that should be paid during this year will be added along with the particular expenditure. So we follow the accrual basis of accounting. Okay. For example, any loss or gain on sale of fixed asset. This accrual basis I am explaining, this will come under the non-cash items. Non-cash items means I told you outstanding expense or accrued income. Then say that profit, if we sell some fixed assets, that profit or loss will be entered. Then depreciation also. These three will be considered in the income and expenditure, but all these will not be taken into account in the receipts and payments account. Here to prepare the income and expenditure account, they will give the receipts and payments account. Receipts and payments account will be the problem. We have to prepare the income and expenditure account and the balance sheet. Understood? Then this usually they will ask for 5 marks, because from the receipts and payments account you have to prepare the income and expenditure account. Then after entering all the items in the income and expenditure account, we will get surplus or deficit. If the debit side is more, that means the expenses are more, so we will get deficit. Okay, if the debit side is more. If the credit side is more, we will get the surplus. Understood? Because the credit side we will enter all the income. So if the income is over expenditure, it is called, or surplus. Deficit means expenditure over income. Understand? So we will do the problems later. I think you have to do one fifth exercise by seeing the fifth illustration. Then you have to study the theory portion that I have explained in this items that will come under income and expenditure account. Many question answers are there that I will now. I have already told you, and I will mark and give also from the textbook. I think we have marked the first two question answers. State the meaning of not-for-profit organization and what is receipts and payments account. Now we will mark what is legacy. It is in page number 47. Legacy. Gift made to a not-for-profit organization by a will. Then you can write it is called legacy. Third point, it is a capital receipt. Okay. Gift made to other 2 point will do, I think. Okay, those first point, this one second point. Okay, for 2 marks only they will ask. Now we will see the next question. Fourth one, write a short note on life membership fees. It is in page number 47. This life membership fee, here everything is given as one sentence, but here I have written the words with the pencil. I think if you zoom and you will get that sentence. Okay, amount received as fee from the members for the lifetime of the members is called life membership fees. First point. Second one, it is a capital receipt as it is non-recurring in nature. 2 points. Okay, now next question. 5 and 6. Give 4 examples for capital receipts of not-for-profit organization. Sixth one, give 4 examples for revenue receipts of not-for-profit organization. It is in page number 48. Learn any 5 or 4. Okay, from here capital receipts, this one revenue receipts. Okay, the next question. Now this only one question available. What is income and expenditure account? It is in page number 49. Here under this heading, first point, income and expenditure account is a summary of this first sentence. Then it is prepared to find out the surplus or deficit of a particular year. Then third point, it is a nominal account in nature. Then anything else you can enter, you can write if you think. Okay, it is prepared following the accrual basis of accounting, that also you can write, because here you have to write 2-3 points more because it is asked for 3 marks question. Okay, it is just like preparing a profit and loss account. Then you can write income are shown on the credit side and expenses are shown on the debit side. Okay, all these points you can add and write. 5-6 points. Okay, I have explained all the question answers. So you study this theory portion and you do that 5th problem and keep update your work. Understand? Thank you, students.